want to thank Carson-Newman College, Dr. Randall O'Brien, distinguished faculty, lecturers, and guests. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be here with the parents, those who have supported these graduates, the faculty who have spent so many hours of love and nurturing so that these young graduates can go out and lead our world. I've got 3 or 4 things that I want to talk to you about this afternoon. Number 1, I want to talk to you about PMA. Now, did I mispronounce that? Is it PMS? I bet there's some people here that know what PMS is. But we're going to be talking about PMA, positive mental attitude. Of all the things that you can go out into this world and be successful with, it's a positive mental attitude. William James, author, said, "It is your attitude at the beginning of a difficult task, which more than anything else will determine the success of that task." So face life with a positive mental attitude. Look at the mirror when you wake up in the morning and say, "This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." The other thing is to work hard. You've worked hard. You've studied hard. You've stayed up late. You've practiced music. You've played football. You've practiced football. You've learned how to be a good student and graduate from this great Carson-Newman. So know that when you get out in the world, those same work ethics are going to carry on. So I want you to do 100% of your ability, not 93%. Let me tell you a story about Sharon Miller Price. Sharon Miller was a graduate of the University of Tennessee in finance. And she got a job at a bank. And she was going to lead the bank and make a lot of money. And so she went to her boss, and her boss said, "Sharon, I want you to learn the bank. I'm going to make you a copy person. And what you're going to do is carry papers to the different offices so that people will know what to do." That was humiliating. That was downgrading. It wasn't a good job. It was the lowest of the low. So what did Sharon Miller Price do? She said, "I'm going to be the best copy person this bank has ever had." She got there early. She made sure the copies were on the desk. She made sure that it was the proper copies. Everybody began to look forward and began to have confidence in Sharon. She grew in that bank. And now Sharon Miller Price owns the Trust Company, a company that invests millions of dollars for you and me. It's all because she worked hard. The same principle goes for you. It's the work that you do that will make you successful. As a physician, when I see a patient, I look across the desk and I say, "Dr. Bob, this is the only time in your whole life that you're going to have the opportunity of letting this patient know that you're the best doctor they've ever seen. So take a good history. Take a good physical. Help that patient. Talk with them. Do your very, very best so that you will be successful in everything that you do." When you go out in life and when you go out in your workplace and family place, I want you to help other people. Don't think so much about yourself. Find somebody at work that you can go get a cup of coffee for them. Help them with their papers. Help them with their problems that they're having at home. And when you think of other people, your life will be better. Sometimes my wife Carol says, "Dr. Bob, you need to get off your pity pot. You're thinking too much about yourself. You need to be thinking about other people. And indeed, my wife leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And I want you to do the same thing. I want you to lead the people that you're exposed to in the paths of righteousness for God's sake. Graduates, you'll be leading our world. You'll be the ones that will be responsible for the future. When you take that responsibility, look in the mirror, ask God for help, and give God the praise that he deserves every day for you to go out and be successful. Enjoy this graduation. Have a good day, and God bless you all.
Colby Lee Palmer Hoover, cum laude. Marcus Terrell Underwood.
Please join me in congratulating the Carson-Newman College class of 2012.
Dr. Bob is right. You have everything it takes to be successful. You believe that? There were 10 spies that had negative mental attitudes, Dr. Bob. Have you heard of them? Shemua, Shaphat, Igal, Palti, Gadiel, Gadi. You heard of them? Amiel, Sethur, Navi, Guiel. You heard of them? No, you never heard of them. You know why? They died in the wilderness. They had a negative mental attitude, Dr. Bob. They said, we can't do it. And they didn't do it. But we name our children Caleb and Joshua. We gave degrees to Caleb and Joshua today. We name our children Caleb and Joshua. Why? Because they had that positive mental attitude, and they said, with God's help, we can do it. Class, you are family, and you always will be. We love you, and we believe in you. And what I want to challenge you to do, this is your charge from your Carson-Newman family. I want you to say these words from the Apostle Paul's lips. Quite a courageous, positive thinker himself to think that he could change the world and pull it off. But he said we should go through life crossing the apostrophe T off of can't and say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. I want to charge you, I want to challenge you to go forward and possess this new promised land. It's not going to be immediately easy. Giants are called giants for a reason, and they're not easily fallen, and no promised land easily surrenders its fruit. But whether it takes you a day, 4 days, a week, a month, 4 years, whatever, you will prevail. Because why? Say it with me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. This time, let's say we. And I invite everyone in here, let's say it together. Let's embrace the graduating class with this great admonition from the Apostle Paul. We're going to say together, we can do all things through Christ who strengthened us. Would you stand and let's do this? Everyone stand. And as you go forward to possess your promised land that God has for you, what are those words? We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us.